Hey everyone, it's Pat from Pat's Over Music. Now I thought, you know what? There's probably 10, 20, 100, 60,000. There's probably some of you that watch this channel and you're interested in learning riffs. So I thought, you know what? Let's pull back the curtains and let's show you exactly how I come up with every single riff that's on this channel. Now, if you've been following me for a little while, you know that we've actually taught over 200, I think over 220 different riffs, maybe 230 now. There's so many riffs on this channel. They're in a riff playlist. I'll ID it here if you want to check that playlist out. But I thought, you know, let's just show you exactly how I come up with those riffs. Diving right on into the computer right now. So the first thing I do is load up the YouTube comment section. So what's great about this is it shows me all of my different comments on all of my sort of different videos. So here we found a suggestion from Garrett Soccer. Now Garrett said Greta Van Fleet. So I'm sure he meant Greta Van Fleet song. Next. Now, what I would normally do is I'd check out the artist and I'd find out, okay, what are their sort of popular songs, because he hasn't written, you know, what song he wants to learn, he's just written an artist. And then I'd find out, okay, well, out of these sort of popular songs, which one is suitable for one finger? That means which one is more of a riff than sort of full chords, or which one doesn't use bar chords, or which one is a little bit slower paced, or which one do I think that you, all of you viewers, will get the most out of, in which case you'll learn sort of position playing, maybe you will learn some open chords, but you won't be struggling with bar chords. All of those things I think about when I'm choosing the riff. Now, if it's something that's really sort of fast paced, generally I don't teach it, just because the problem is I feel like it's going to be above and beyond a few people that are watching this sort of video, and the other reason is the problem is with fast-paced riffs is they're not really suitable for one finger, because you'd just be flying around, and I would just hate to teach it and then say, you know what, don't ever play it like that, play this way. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Now that's one way. Now what I would love is maybe next time Garrett suggested something, is he said, hey, could you please, you know, here's the artist, here's the song name, could you please teach me this? Something like that, that'd be great. Because if you think about it, it just says Greta Van Fleet song next. There's no like song name, there's no question mark, there's no like hello. Would you just go up to someone in the street and without even saying hello, Greta Van Fleet song next? How weird would that be? You haven't said hello, how are you, nice to meet you, this is my name. So that sort of stuff, it just always sort of bothers me. And so sometimes when people send me Instagram or Facebook messages and they're just like, Stairway to Heaven. And there's no, and I'm like, what do I do with that? Do you like that song? What is it you're trying to say? I just think, man, it's so strange. Like if you wouldn't go up to someone in the street and just yell Stairway to Heaven, you know, at them, then you shouldn't really do that on the internet. So sometimes I just don't bother getting back to people like that. So if you've ever sent me a message and I haven't replied, maybe that's why. Unfortunately, just after 10 years, there's sort of some things that I just think, man, this is pretty common sense these days. So basically what I'll do is I'll get the comment, I'll add it to the list, I'll work out, is it suitable? Can I teach it? Now, because I don't sort of buy the sheet music, or because I don't use other people's sort of guitar tab, it's up to me and it's up to my ears to learn how to play it. So let's say that someone wanted to learn Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, and let's say that I didn't know it, so it would sound like this. Right, so that's the basic sort of riff. So what I would do if I, you know, couldn't find any free sheet music, or I hadn't sort of learned it or played it before, I couldn't quite sort of, you know, just work it out by watching them play live, is all I would do is I'd just go, all right, okay, all right, so it's on an E note. It sounds like it's based around that position, and there's some chromatic notes. And I would just slowly sort of play it by ear. So because I've been doing that so long, it still takes me a little while, but with some riffs I can just instantly work out what I think the guitarist is thinking. Now the only problem with this is sometimes, let's say there's an E note here, but there's an E note over here as well. So sometimes, let's say I'll teach the riff over here, and then I'll find out, oh, it's actually supposed to be played here. And it sounds exactly the same, maybe it just sounds a little bit different because there's thicker strings. So what I'll do is every year when I combine all the riffs that I've taught that year in the 100 riff video, then I'll go back and sort of change that riff and fix it up to what I think it is. Or it's just like when I was first teaching sort of Smoke on the Water. I would always teach it on the 6th string because it's the easiest riff ever to learn, and it's so much easier when you're starting out playing the 6th string than it is other strings. But I go back, or I say, you should actually play it, you know, like this. So, all different things. But basically, that's what I would do. I take your comments, your awesome messages from Instagram and Facebook, I put them all into a list, I go in and I think, are they suitable? Can we teach them? And then I write them down, and then I make a video on it. So I would say each sort of song maybe takes me between, if it's an easy song, like a minute. If it's a hard song, maybe 5 or 6 or 7 minutes. And then to make the video and edit the video, we're probably talking like 5 hours, really? Now, the reason why it takes so long is every single like fret or note or number I have to physically type in, so it takes so long, as well as the editing. And because the files are all 4K, once it gets, you know, over 40 minutes or an hour of footage to whittle down to 20 minutes or half an hour, my computer just starts struggling, so I have to sort of leave it and come back and render it. So it's all just a very, very sort of long process. But hey, I really like doing it, and I like that you all enjoy it as well. Now, there is one sort of harsh reality to all this. Now, you know that I love replying to everybody, as many comments. Sometimes I just don't see comments for whatever reason. Maybe they go up to this section and they get held to review, or they're thought of as spam, and I just don't actually see them. But you know, I always try and reply to all comments. However, sometimes someone will suggest a song and it will be just too hard for this series, like ridiculously hard, or I just can't find it because it's such a small, tiny sort of band. And the problem is I'll write it down, I'll copy it, but all of this just takes so long. So I'm very, very bad. I'm not good with going back and telling people I can't teach them that song. So what generally happens is someone, like a few weeks later, they say, hey, why haven't we learnt this song? And I go, oh, you know what? Actually, it's too hard. Now, in a perfect world, I would be able to take someone's suggestion, work out whether it's great or not, or we can't do it, go back and tell them that. I just don't have time. Unfortunately, when you think of how many people comment on all my videos, I'm happy enough that I can just reply to everyone. I just don't have the time to do all those extra steps. And think about it yourself, how many other YouTube channels where people actually reply to everyone? It takes so much time, that's why no one does it. But, did you learn something from this video? Was it interesting? Alright, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this gives you a little bit more insight into how this channel works and how I get into those riffs. Now, I'm so sorry if I haven't taught some of your riffs or some of your suggestions, but hopefully now that clears all of that. Again, if there's something new you want to learn, I'm working out the riffs for the end of this month right now. Leave a comment below or send me an Instagram or a Facebook message. Otherwise, I'll see you again very soon.